So I got stuck in this tension a long time ago. Initially with the neurofeedbacks, where they put electrodes on my head, and then I tried to make the brain waves go, faster, or like it was like a video game type of thing. That's the reason why I saw it on a news program and said, "Oh, I want to." And I was like, "Oh, I want to try that. It's like a video game with your brain waves, keep Superman flying high by, But anyways, I tried to do inner tension and 10 step, and I just kept doing it, and then all of a sudden I was like stuck. Instead of I was doing inner tension, trying to tense real hard, and then I actually got stuck in this tension that I couldn't stop doing, and then I became instantly a totally different human being. I couldn't think or talk. I was, just went total opposite man immediately. And at first it took me like years to get out of it at all. And then ever since then, it's still always a constant threat. And like, when I get stuck in it, it's like, then the thoughts immediately go away, and I'm trying to figure out, well, I have this tension. I know I need the gut, like a gut feeling, and the thoughts connected to the feelings, and I need to just be deep in thoughts without any tensions here. It just needs to be feelings instead, like emotional feelings. Because the emotional feelings turn into tension. They and so you need to turn that tension squeeze back into emotional feelings that are kind of like controlled and kind of just connected in unison with your thoughts. But it's not easy to like do. I know what I need to do and everything, and what happened and stuff. And since I'm like the only one that's done this, maybe, I don't know what you would call it, depersonalization, in this unique way in which I did it with the biofeedback, not knowing what I was doing, it's probably just a lot more difficult for me. Anyways, and also because I'm the only one that's ever done this, it makes, I went through the most amount of pain in the history of mankind, because you have no idea how painful it was. But maybe you do, and if you do, hey, you're special. I would like to know you. In any case, so how do you get out of it? Obviously, I know what I'm doing. You get stuck in the tension like blocks your thoughts completely, because your thoughts kind of like go into how you're feeling. It's like the concentration is on the tension, and it also takes away your feelings, because your feelings, instead of being emotional flowing feelings, it turns into like a tension. Like it almost feels like a stuffy nose, but it's in your, all through wherever you're kind of like placing it, or like almost like panicked on it. So to replace it, you can't just say, I want to stop. It's like, you can't just, like if you're sad, you can't just say, I want to not be sad. You have to replace sadness with happiness. So, and if you're in the tension, you can't just say, I want to not be tense. You have to replace it, well, with relaxation, but you have to, you have to replace, you have to replace it with relaxation. Yeah. Damn tension. Sucks, because when you get out of it, it takes like at least a couple days of full concentration. When you do finally start getting out of it, you get real focused, and you just start getting deep into thoughts. Your thoughts come back. You start thinking, then the emotional connection's there, and then you finally just say, okay, I'm out of it now, no problem. And then after like 2 days straight, then it's like, oh, well, I'm not gonna do biofeedback tension again, you know? And you'll be good as long as you don't start watching movies or something, you know, where you're watching it for like over 4 hours straight, 5 hours straight, and then you might start zombieing into some tension, and then you'll start feeling it, and then all of a sudden you suck back into it, and then you're in a position where, how do I get out of this fucking tension again? And you're like a zombie, you can't think very well. Ugh. Out on the sports field, people are like, hey, he's not that good. Yeah, well, I'm not that good anymore. I'm doing this tension while trying to play at the same time. Although, I still am the best person on the courts, but I'm not like professionally good. You know, out of the tension, it's like, I can think like a million thoughts per second, and yeah, I'm like the best person out on the courts for sure, like professional level. It's a huge, huge difference for me. But you know, I feel it. It doesn't even matter about like that part. It matters about how painful it is. It matters about how I can't think. It matters about how I can't be happy. It matters about all that shit. You can't do this biofeedback tension anymore. I mean, you've played with it for too long. It's bullshit that it ever happened for a second, much less years like this. I mean, you know exactly what you did and everything, and you've known for so many years exactly what has happened and how to, but it's still so difficult, even as smart as I am, when I get sucked into the tension, to figure out, especially because when you're in it, like, it takes away your thoughts, and the feeling is so different when you're feeling the tension from when you're, it's just such a different kind of universe. It just makes it, and plus when it blocks your thoughts, like, and it's the thoughts that need to carry you out of it. Ugh, and then you're trying to, oh, I gotta think, but you're trying to think with the tension, but that's what needs to be disconnected completely. The tension has to be completely replaced. It has to be, so, I mean, number one, that's like the first step in getting out is so you got this tension here, instead of like trying to, it has to be completely replaced. You can't just stop doing it. Instead, what I mean by replacing is you have to sense the exterior. So you try to get a gut feeling on this exterior. Okay, see my fingers? So you get a gut feeling on the feelings of the exterior, kind of like a Tai Chi, you know how Tai Chi, the triangle, a fireball kind of thing. That type of sensation on the exterior, because you've really gotten self-absorbed in this concentration of how you're just feeling this tension, right? So you need to get that emotional, because it's taken away your emotions, your emotional flow, you know, what everybody has and everybody naturally has, unless they did what I did. Oh man, it's not a day in my life I just wish I could just find a time machine just to go back in time to not do that biofeedback, just to not have, for my family, to be on vacation when we saw that news, that I think it was like a Dateline or Dateline or whatever, and I saw him doing it. I was like, oh, hey, it's fun. I'll do that. I want to do that. I mean, it's kind of my fault. I saw it and I was like, I want to do that. I'll do that. You know, just whatever. Just to not have done that. Just to not have done that. Or just have the doctor say, whatever you do, don't try to do any kind of physical tension while you're doing this focus. Just just think thoughts, you know, or something. I mean, it was just so boring. I'm just supposed to like do this with my brain waves. Ugh, anyways, I didn't know what I was doing. I got stuck in my tension and it ruined my life. Like, it's so crazy, but it's so real. So unbelievably real. And then I find out there's no God or anything, and like in here, like this was like a piano falling on my head. It should have never happened. I would have been the most fucking, I'd have been so fucking amazing in this world. Instead, here I am, just like a nobody, basically. I've never like really had much of a girlfriend before, just because I've always been like, I just want to make sure that I'm fully out of the tension at all times before I ever even ask a girl out. So I've never really asked a girl out. I've never talked, you know, I've always just avoided that. You know, I don't go to any bars or anything, and if I ever, which sucks because I'm like, I would make the best in all those type of genres, you know. It's like I don't do stupid stuff, you know. All right, tangent. So anyways, you're doing tension, so that needs to be replaced by the feeling, kind of like Tai Chi sort of feelings of the exterior. So that's what I mean by replace. Replace it with a different feeling. So once you get that general feeling sensation on the exterior, you know, add thoughts to it, like start to try to think about what it feels like, combined with getting that actual, like almost like a gut feeling, like actual emotions. You know, this has to get out. That tension's got to get out of there. It's got to get into actual emotional feelings. In any case, and then just, you know, eventually, that's why maybe just start reading or whatever. You need to just think. And then when you're thinking, and then this goes away, and then the emotional thoughts will just start getting more and more connected to your thinking, where your just thoughts will, you'll be deeper into the thoughts. And like, I'm doing the tension now, but that's, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be making, if I wasn't stuck in tension, I wouldn't be making a video, because I'd be like, I would want to be living life, you know. But I'm a bit stuck in tension, but I was kind of out of it for a little, like a minute or so, thinking about it, because I do know how to get it out and replace it, but this is how you do it. And then you basically, once you're thinking about stuff that you're just thinking more and more, this is being replaced, because you're in those thoughts. You are also having the exterior feelings of those thoughts in that, you know, Tai Chi form. In those thoughts, this has disappeared as well, you know. Your attention has disappeared. In those thoughts, the feeling is on the solid matter. Your emotional feeling is in those thoughts. The gut feeling is on that solid matter. And then the more thinking you do, the more that the emotions will start to just fully, completely connect to your emotional flow. And then your thoughts and feelings will become connected. And then the deeper you can start thinking, and by deeper you can start thinking, it's just that the more you think, the more connected the feelings become into the thoughts. And then when your thoughts and feelings are fully connected, then your fully back engaged and everything's back to normal, then you're looking in certain directions based on your thoughts, you know, your everything that you're doing, your thoughts are leading you ahead of what you're doing, you know. I mean, basically, this is how you always were before you got stuck in tension. This is how pretty much everyone is, because they didn't do neurofeedback, EEG biofeedback. And then you're all back to normal. And you back to normal is by far better than most everybody. And you were before, and then when you get back out of the tension, then you are again. It's like you are like excessively smart. You were before, and hey, guess what? Thank God you are excessively smart still, even though you've lost so many years in that tension zombie land where, I mean, I guess I've lost the, whatever. I wasn't learning too much because I couldn't think at all. But in any case, that's how you do it. I mean, next time you get that total thought and feeling connection, you get back totally deep into the focus, deep into your thought and feeling flow. Please, just keep it going. You're too old for this shit. You've lived too long of a painful life. Just don't revert back into the tension again anymore. You've had enough fucking bullshit pain. And I'm accent on the bullshit pain. I would much rather have the normal pain.